So the last segment here, I believe, should be their Game Awards.
Okay.
I'm interested to see what they talk about. I don't know if they're going to talk about some things like Devolver, because I don't know if that was actually part of E3. It wasn't on their actual schedule, so I don't think they will, even though it was really cool.
It's a Razer then for me.
Razer. Premium access.
Ultra.
All right. Is that it?
Premium
Is it go time?
I don't think so. And there might be
This is a 5G commercial.
Yeah, some ad stuff here for something.
Right. They tricked me. They got me. It's like in
All
Ghost
right.
of Tsushima, which is
Well,
when
chat, Ghost of Tsushima, what?
Well, I was just going to say, they got me like they do in Duels in Ghost of Tsushima, which I play Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, in Duels, huh?
I told you, the fakes. It's real good. It's real good, Rick.
Well, chat, while we wait for this last segment here, what were some things that you guys enjoyed the most through E3?
Yeah, what's your awards that you would give out?
We talked a lot about some of our favorite things throughout the week here, but what about you guys? Your reaction to Razer was your favorite thing?
Our reaction.
A lot of people were just saying Razer. Happy Game.
Nice.
Guardians of the Galaxy is the only thing you liked all E3? Really? Okay.
Wow.
Damn. Talk about picky. That's pickier than me. And that's hard.
Slime Ranchers 2, baby.
Rick's pretty picky. I honestly was surprised a few times of some things where Rick's like, you know what? I like this. This looks good. I'm like, oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, there was twice that he liked open world shooter.
Devolver and Nintendo. Beaver Town. See, Rick can relate to Hot Chop. My wish list library doubled this E3.
Shit, didn't even make a dent in mine. I added like 50 things. No. I don't think so. Are we?
It said do what?
No, sorry about that. No, I saw that it was going to E3 exclusive.
No, I'm watching it. There's
okay.
Nothing yet. Halo Infinite Party Animal Game, Giga Burst, and Ramen, as well as Advance Wars. Well, Leewick has a good list there of stuff. So it looks like they have another little segment that's popped up that actually isn't related to the awards show. They're doing something else here with E3, so we have a little bit of time here. I'm afraid to go away because I don't know how long things are going and when they're going to bring in the last little bit.
Yeah. Schedule seems kind of
Schedule is worrisome.
Yeah.
Things have moved around a lot.
So what did you guys miss the most about, like, physically going to E3?
Just being hands-on. Actually, like, being able to go up to a booth, going around the corner, seeing what's there, seeing people enjoy things.
Yeah.
Food trucks. Lots and people around you breathing all over the place. Not worrying about that.
Yeah.
Definitely miss that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say just being able to, like, stand somewhere at an intersection in the aisle and look. And it's like, that looks like something that I'm interested in, and walking over and playing it.
Yeah, like sometimes you go into, like, you know, one of those sections and, like, someone, like, stage produced this. Like, it's really cool, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I loved seeing a giant Luigi with his ghost vacuum, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
Going into the stadium for Pokemon. The gigantic screen of Smash Brothers when that was coming out, you know?
Yeah. A lot of that kind of stuff is really cool. The thing for me is just getting those hands-on on like demos and stuff, because they usually have a lot more that you can check out and do with it being there in person than what they release for like worldwide on like PlayStation or Switch or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was hoping maybe we would get a little bit more of that this year, since they weren't going to be able to have like hands-on looks at anything. Sadly, no, but we got some things. But that was my favorite part, is just when you walk through and you see something, you're like, you know what? The trailer like the Final Fantasy thing for Rick. Like he didn't necessarily, he wasn't sold on the trailer, but seeing gameplay and the actual stuff going on, and like it's like, oh, okay, well that might look like something I'm interested more so than just what the trailer showed, because sometimes trailers don't do things justice. So I would really like that. Also, like I got to talk to a lot of people at E3. We saw some different Wave Riders when we were at that E3 and stuff too. Like
it's also just crazy running into like people that you have heard of but don't know, like Ed Boon or like Charles Martinet, or just like just happening to run into these names that created things that mean so much to you.
Next time we see Ed Boon, I'm getting him to call me sucker. Sucker. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna get kicked out, but it's gonna happen.
No, yeah. I mean, that kind of stuff was really cool. Sometimes, like, one of my favorite things was sitting down for lunch, and I ended up just talking to this one girl who was a member of CG Project Red's, like, marketing and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, and I got to talking with her and stuff, and it was some cool dialogue about what they do and some different things, and it's just neat to meet random people in the industry, and sometimes you have no idea who you're standing next to or sitting next to.
Oh, yeah.
It's really cool.
No, I mean, but honestly, one thing that I'll miss that we'll probably never have again is just being around that many people and not worrying about COVID or the next big thing, you know?
When you get a Project Hazel, you don't have to worry about it.
I guess so. I could get that Razer Project Hazel, Ultra Hazel.
Ultra Hazel.
Let me get one for my forehead, too.
Why your forehead?
And it'll be symmetrical.
All right.
Okay.
You know, the one thing I did really like was when we went to E3 was being able to play those demos and then have like little reviews on those. Since we weren't able to have like gameplay or anything like that, we could talk about what we had. So we had little videos on all kinds of different games because we were trying out all these things, getting little sneak peeks on all kinds of stuff. This E3, like, we didn't get a whole lot of that. The E3 portal, I felt like, wasn't really what it should have been, maybe. And if they do end up going more digital and don't open up an E3 in the future and stuff, and they stay digital, hopefully that's something that they work on, is making that more easily accessible, operational, whatever they need to do to be able to connect like the media people with the people who are putting things out, and being able to understand like, oh, well, look, here's what they have, here's what we can do. We want to get more of this, you know?
You can get a lot of swag, too.
The what?
I do miss
like
the swag.
getting like all the convention swag is cool, too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like getting hats and pins and patches and lanyards and stickers and all that cool stuff. Posters.
There was a lot of that. Yes, that's very true. And sometimes
that's why I carried a backpack around.
Sometimes getting like the extra, like there'd be like extra little events and stuff going on around too, which was kind of cool. I did enjoy those as well. So it'd be cool. We'll see what happens in the future and how things progress and what all occurs. But hopefully, if they do more E3 digital stuff, less people are dropping out as well. Because there was some people that were dropping out of this. We obviously didn't have Sony here. A few other companies that are usually around, like EA and stuff, weren't here. So we might get a few more things like that kind of either coming back, or things might split off more, and it's just going to be a lot of State of Plays and EA Plays and Nintendo Directs, and I don't know. We shall see.
We shall see.
Yeah, EA Play is going to be next month. There is going to be that. There's a few things going on, like after E3's done, and some months following. I imagine some Pokemon Directs are going to be occurring at some point here in the next couple months, because coming this fall/holiday is going to be getting into the re-releases of Diamond and Pearl. So I imagine more Nintendo stuff, because they didn't cover any Pokemon stuff in this one. So we'll see what new stuff we get from EA. Sony will probably have something here in a month or so. Or I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Tokyo show.
I don't think Japan is probably holding any conventions anytime soon.
Sure, but are they going to do any kind of digital stuff, or what their plan is for that? The Tokyo Game Show online beginning September 30th. So, and ending October 3rd. So I don't know if, will there be anything from Sony before then? Are they going to save anything they have for the Tokyo Game Show? Sometimes they did. I think they did that last year, is they didn't really have anything till the Tokyo Game Show last year. Or the year before. Whichever one was the first one when they weren't at E3.
Now, you didn't get a lot of Pokemon, but you did get Koromon.
Yeah.
I did. It's something I want to look into a little bit more. I got to play it a little bit. It seems interesting. It's a little different, but also a lot of the same. But it's also like, it's hard for me to remember type advantages sometimes for Pokemon, especially when they have like dual typings. I can't imagine trying to start remembering a whole nother game system's typing and advantages and weaknesses and stuff too.
I mean, Eric does it with Star Wars and Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, and just get good, nerd.
Yep.
If only if he could do it from My Hero Academia classes.
I mean,
like I said, I canceled that out by being correct about there being in the first year, so we're good.
I don't know about that.
Sure we did.
I don't remember that segment there.
You don't remember being wrong about that?
I feel like that was a Calvin argument.
Can't just blame everything on me.
No, we
I
can't.
can blame chivalry on you.
No, it was happening to everyone.
Should we all play Chivalry without Eric again?
Fun times. All right. Waiting to see what's going to be this last little bit here. Things are supposed to end around 8:30, I think. So I don't know.
I would assume if it's going to start around 8 would be my guess.
Sure. The thing I just looked up was showing that it was supposed to start at 7:45, like what Chad had said, but
maybe it's 7:45 Pacific.
Oh God, Eric.
No, it was not.
I hope not.
I don't know if I could do it.
I might go home.
On the E3 Expo, it says today, the official awards show starts at 4:45 p.m., which these are all Pacific times.
Okay. So,
I don't think I've ever watched the award show.
They have them there too, but the last one we were busy with something else when they were wrapping it up, so we missed what they were doing at the main stage for the award show.
Sure.
But we were busy trying to cover other game stuff that was going on.
What kind of awards they give out?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like best of show.
I always missed it, especially the 2 years that we went to it. We were always doing other things when they were doing that stuff.
Sure.
So I'm not sure.
There was one time where we went out to the food trucks and we saw the 10 Chambers guys, and they were super excited and everything because they just won like best of show.
Yeah, there was some kind of award that
right?
they had won. They were awarded for GTFO.
I want to know.
Most we saw of the awards.
I want to know when Pacific time took over. I feel like growing up as a kid, all the TV and everything that I watched was always Eastern Standard Time, and then little like brackets they would have Pacific.
Rick,
now I feel like it's always Pacific.
You were watching PBS and NBC, and those were local.
No, it wasn't always local though.
Whenever, as a kid growing up, whenever like mom and dad would have things recorded on tape and we would watch them later, it was always Central Time. So then if you were East Coast, you just subtracted an hour. If it was West Coast, you added an hour.
That's how it works. That's
That's
how time
just
works,
the way
right?
they did back then.
I think that's how time
Like,
works.
9 Central.
Seem
I
to
always
check
remember
out.
that.
All right. Let me double check, make sure there's no more questions or anything coming in from chat or anything going on that they were curious about or wanting to know.
I mean, we could go
Let's see.
We could go through the categories of like the last E3's awards and pick our guesses of what they're going to be.
We can also wrap up now that we've seen everything except for the awards. We can talk about everything that we have too. But yeah, if we go through some of those categories, we could discuss that too and kind of encompass all those together.
All right, let's see here. Last year's, or the last time there was one, 2019, special accommodations for graphics, Cyberpunk 2077 was the winner.
Graphics, huh?
I really liked the look of, was it Stalker?
Yes.
It had Stalker 2 had really good lighting. That's when we talked about that had such good lighting.
good lighting and great voice acting. So
It's
maybe
the first one that comes
sound
to mind.
design goes for that one.
I'm trying to think of anything else that I really like that would have been good for it. We
might
don't have
be
time to go
time.
through this, Rick.
Yeah,
Looks like they're doing the
starting
E3 awards.
The talk.
So I suppose we'll check out and see what they have for the E3 awards here. Dude, Forza did look good. You know, Forza might be my one.
What, graphically?
And to showcase more than one game,
Have you switched
we
over, Rick?
will even honor the best presentation of this year's Expo. So with that, drum roll please, Golden Boy. We present to you the 2021
She just went,
E3 Awards. All right, starting with our first developer,
that's
Ubisoft.
funny.
The award for most anticipated Ubisoft game goes to Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
I was gonna
I
say
didn't see
Rainbow
it coming.
Six Extraction, but fine.
And I was gonna say Far Cry. I thought that would have been a shoe,
Yeah,
right?
me
I didn't
too.
see that one coming. But
Well, when this one was, kind of got out there a little early, everyone was excited
sure,
about it.
no, I love Mario Rabbids. So
People have
yeah,
seen
I'm
Far
all
Cry
about
for a
it.
while.
First game
This was
was
like a new
fantastic.
announcement
No
for it
shocker
too.
here.
So
This is cool.
I could
Yeah,
see
makes
it
sense, I
being
guess, on that
Ubisoft.
one. So let's move on then.
Most
Gearbox
anticipated.
Software closed us out on Saturday's preview night, and the award for most anticipated game from their presentation goes to Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Of course. No offense to Godfall, but of course it was going to be Tiny
exactly.
Tina's. Like that was the one, right, that we've been aching for more.
I figure a lot of
information
these
on,
most
right?
anticipated are going to be
Getting
things that
sizzle
were
teaser.
new
It's like,
announcements
okay,
that people didn't know
let's
were
look
coming.
at
Yeah.
this. I know,
Just
right?
a little taste, but definitely in for that one. I mean, the cast alone, Will
Sure,
Arnett, Wanda
yeah.
Sykes, Adam Sandberg, I'm like,
Actually,
Do they
Bird,
always
Andy, I
give
just-
some respect on the
awards
name.
to
All right.
like
Yeah,
publishers?
I don't
I don't know,
know
it
why
just
I
seems
just
weird.
said Adam.
I think you're thinking Sandler.
I didn't think
Which Andy
you. I was
Samberg
like,
will be really mad
what?
about that. So
Sorry,
Somebody put this out,
everybody.
send it to Andy
Sorry.
Samberg. So
send it to Andy's people.
next up for discussion is Xbox and Bethesda, and the award for most anticipated game for Xbox or Bethesda is Golden Boy.
Halo Infinite. Yes.
No Redfall?
I wonder what game
That one
was going to win the WB
That
Don't
one
get me
was
wrong,
just-
Redfall looks
Well,
awesome.
I
Go
think
get 'em arcade.
They said
but, like,
studios
sure,
that showed
for
more than one
sure.
thing are
Yeah,
eligible.
I'm excited for this.
I'm curious
one.
what it'll be Nintendo's.
Well, obviously for it being Halo, but for
Most
the future of the
anticipated?
franchise,
Nintendo's?
it looks really good.
Yeah.
They
Gotta
did
be
a
Breath of the
great
Wild,
pass
too.
over with
Yeah.
the
You
graphics,
think?
which is something everyone
What about
really
Super
wanted to
Mario
see.
Party?
They also had an
I would
awesome
say it's
multiplayer
definitely gotta
showcase
be
where they showed a whole
Breath of the
bunch of
Wild,
new
too.
features like bots that are going to be coming to the game, which is
Maybe
Little
great.
WarioWare.
change the
That
definition of
maybe are a little too
anticipated.
intimidated to play against actual players.
Could
that
be
they
WarioWare.
could, go in there, learn the ropes,
Yep.
I don't
get
know
in,
about that.
play some Halo against their friends. It's awesome. I'm so excited for Halo Infinite.
All right. Square Enix caught our attention with their list of announcements, but the award for most anticipated Square Enix game goes to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yay, you're all
I agree with
smiles.
that.
I am all smiles.
Yeah.
A shoe in again. Eidos Montreal coming out. This is what we've been talking about all week long when we were previewing and hinting around about rumors, right? Of like Eidos Montreal, incredibly
Personally
talented
more
studio.
excited for the
Deus
new
Ex,
Life is Strange.
a game franchise, and especially their two, that has cemented them to so many fans as an amazing developer.
Guardians of the Galaxy looks
But
really cool.
It's a different kind of game. It's an IP.
Oh, I liked a
maybe
lot of
not
what I
maybe
saw of
to
that
involve.
game.
Giant game.
Putting Marvel in front of that, I think, is
Yeah.
really going to boost their profile and show the world what they can do the same way Insomniac did with Spider-Man.
It was such a great
Exactly.
presentation too. I mean, we got such an inside look at the game and saw the
Like, I would have loved to have
mechanics
gone
and
to the
how
Guardians of the
characters
Galaxy
look and
booth.
the funny lines
Yeah,
delivered.
right?
So I'm
You know?
excited.
That could have been really cool to see.
Yeah.
The PC gaming show was a lot of fun and brought us so many looks at an array of cool games on the horizon. But the award for most anticipated game of their presentation goes to Songs of Conquest.
Okay, interesting one. Yeah, oh yes, this one was actually really nice.
I mean, look at the art style
the
right
animation.
there, right?
Pixel art style. I mean, that goes to show you too how many games were shown at the PC
I
Gaming
don't remember that
Show.
one.
30, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
remember
This is
it.
Coffee
It was during the
Stain, I
PC
believe,
Gaming Show.
A great
Thank
group.
you. Falling
This
asleep.
is going to be a game to look out
Maybe.
for, undoubtedly.
Very well could have been.
Fantastic, and if it's a Coffee Stain production,
That
it's
one
going
did
to
seem
have
cool.
great
You know it's
value.
gonna be good. You know?
So many
It has a
games
neat look to
embracing
it.
stylized pixel
Yeah.
art, and I love it.
Yes.
I'm here
It was somewhere in
for it.
between
Here's
So
the classic
Day 9 getting
twist,
electrocuted
baby.
and
So did the entire
and
media
riding a
panel.
mech.
That's all they talked
I know.
about.
Certainly
Right?
a kind of game I would
Future
only want to
Games
play on
wasn't to be
PC.
outdone with a list
Sure,
of titles
I
to
get
catch
that.
our eyes.
Controller would
The
not do
award
well
for
there.
most anticipated game goes to Immortality. Don't read ahead. Don't read ahead.
Sorry, I cheated.
You don't before I say what it is.
This is a
Such a
very
game show.
ominous teaser here. If you guys
100%.
remember,
Oh,
the
yeah.
posters
This one
just
here,
going
I
up
have
in
no
flames
idea what
you're
it
about to
is.
see
It's
behind
like
us.
a real
I
crime.
mean, for me,
drama.
The music got
They
me,
gave
and
us
it was just the
nothing.
mystery of this one.
they
So
gave
I
us
definitely want to
little.
see more.
They gave us
Well, I mean,
enough.
coming off the success of
They
telling
didn't.
lies, right?
By the
A
end of
game
it, we
that
were all like,
relies
"What's it
on
about?"
Video
I
footage,
mean,
right?
I'm
Getting
intrigued.
into
That's
her
enough for
story.
me.
The game before that really established this from Sam, right? Going in, what's the story? You being the detective, figuring it all out, immediately shot to the top of my list as well.
Like
Yeah.
it's
Okay, I
written.
won't cheat anymore.
Thank you. Don't.
By,
Golden
like-
Boy, don't you either. All right.
Promise.
And
Netflix
television knocked our
show
socks
writers.
off with a family-friendly console
Television.
reveal, and the most anticipated game from that presentation is
From the Amico?
Asteroids. Simple, baby.
a classic.
It's a classic.
right?
That's
Yeah,
their
I mean,
most
mad about
anticipated
that,
game
dude.
from
Yeah.
the television Amico.
Yeah, but
Let me
I
tell you
think they're
something.
working on
Asteroids,
it.
hell of a game.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
they show the game. This is all about how the controllers work and getting everybody together to play a simple version of something, and that's
like it.
Asteroids.
Asteroids wins. Okay.
Okay, good. It's got Jackie's seal of approval, everybody. We're all right.
That's a real award.
When
Evie
it
has an
comes to
Asteroids
indies,
poster
there
in
are
her
so
room.
many great indie titles to choose from,
Hey,
and they
that's
all
pretty
show
great.
us that there's really no gap between small games and AAA games in 2021. The award for most anticipated indie game goes to
the Indie
Falling
Showcase.
Frontier.
Oh, yeah.
This
Yeah,
one
yeah.
got you too? This is on your radar?
Yeah, this one looked really good. I mean, well, for one,
Oh, is
anything
that
with a
the,
space, you know,
This is one of those
angle
3
to
that
it
were
is
shown.
always going
That
to
was
be
like
a
the
winner for
4X
me.
one. There was the strategy
and
one.
I
And
believe
This
this
looks
is
like
the
the
one that was like
4X
more of that
one, I
strategic
I think
type
this was
of
the RTX.
atmosphere that it presents.
Yeah,
so
you
I
might be right.
actually really like this game. And again, you know, the Indie Game Showcase was very competitive as well.
Yeah.
Lots of great games shown. Congratulations to them.
And I think, you know, the indie scene bled so much beyond the showcase, right? Where there were so many different indie games
Maybe.
peppered throughout presentations, different publishers,
Correct.
even GameSpot today, like they had so many great things. Competitive space for
Maybe.
sure. Speaking of competitive, Greg Way, Freedom
can't
Games established themselves again as a dev that makes family-friendly games that are fun. And the most anticipated one from their announcement goes to Airborne Kingdom. This is the first one I will argue about.
Okay.
What? Who
yes.
did the
Yeah,
dog
I
sit?
was like,
Come on. It's a great game. I'm not
It
knocking
looks
it.
awesome.
To the
It does
rescue.
look really
no love
good.
for To the
Freedom
Or
Games.
Capture's Fate Manager.
Exactly. It
Had
I-
so
Too many good games.
many games.
There was
If-
Too
too
many
many.
good
For
games.
The
me,
winner
and
so
I think
far,
for
I
all
think
of
I'm
us, and even for our
anticipating
media friends, I think Freedom Games
2 of
was
them.
like a star of the
Yeah.
show for us.
Yes.
Koromon.
So many great
Freedom Games is
games
one
from
that should
that group,
Koromon.
and I'm so excited to see
Yeah,
what they're going to be bringing in the future.
didn't
Because
win,
now that
Aaron.
they're on the map,
Sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
sure more people are going to be paying attention.
100%. Yeah, and I think their presentation was so good at putting developers as people front and center.
Yeah.
This is who we are. We're a small team. This is what we're
Goes
doing
to
and why
show
we're
how
doing it.
passionate we
Also,
are. that
Dreamscape
we were
looked
like,
really
there's
good.
so many
I don't know why they
games.
I
you know,
figured that
so-
one was
yeah.
higher than
Good job,
Showing their
Freedom
story
Games.
to create the story. I love this.
Exactly.
that one.
All right, Capcom is no stranger to anticipated games in their library, and after Monday's presentation, the panel
Attorney?
voted the most anticipated game is The Great Ace Attorney.
Yeah,
John
right.
Gray,
Surprised that it
Japanese
wasn't.
Phoenix Wright game.
I got that one right.
Was gonna
Justice.
Get this
You know,
one.
I
ain't
thought
gonna
the
lie.
Monsty would too, but
I
I
was
think
ready to say Monsty stories too as well.
I'm glad we're getting it in here.
Hashtag.
I did.
This game
I
looks
did.
great though.
The
I
correct
can't
Of course
take
it
away.
does. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Phoenix Wright already has such a passionate audience. To finally get these games over from Japan, to go back in time, see the lineage of it, be in merry old England.
I just
Oi,
need
Governor.
Miles
I mean,
Edgeworth
come on.
investigation.
And
too.
Herlock Sholmes.
This is the last one that only
Best
came
name
out in
ever.
Japan.
So that's a winner.
Love it,
That's a
love it.
winner.
Good job, Capcom. Now, Nintendo opened up the final day
Oh,
today,
Nintendo,
dropping a
Eric.
few gems.
WarioWare.
But the
Gotta be
award
Breath of the
for
Wild 2.
most anticipated announcement had to go to Breath of the Wild.
Of course, because they're not fucking
Easy,
crazy people.
I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah.
I'll argue
This
this one, man.
opening-
Why wouldn't you do that?
Metroid,
Look at that.
Metroid was great.
Oh, Metroid
but,
was
Calling it Breath of the Wild
We're
too.
going to fight me on that one. I'm just
Yeah.
excited for
You did.
Metroid. Sorry, don't mind me.
Are you excited for Breath of the Wild 2, though?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I am. Obviously, Nintendo showed a lot of awesome stuff.
Link doesn't have the Master
Breath of the Wild
Sword.
2, though, we were hoping we were going to get it. We got
Okay.
a lot more than
It's
what I was
crazy.
anticipating.
You should have it. He didn't in the first one either.
Yeah,
He
first
got
target
it, though.
2022.
This is
He doesn't Age of
Sequel,
Calamity.
there being of, like,
He never
the
has
target
it.
in 2022. Like, there's
He does
a lot
have it
that
in
goes
Age of
into this
Calamity.
game. A lot could happen.
And
And
it
we
probably
are
is
talking
broke.
about
About
multiple
this.
times throughout this entire show.
Yep.
Coming off of a global pandemic.
Yes.
So it's a miracle
Yeah.
we're getting any game.
Metroid
let
was
alone
really
the fact
cool.
that we're seeing Nintendo be transparent about it.
That was a
let
new
alone the
announcement,
rest of
too.
their
Yeah.
lineup, including
Metroid 5.
Don't forget.
Oh my goodness. I just want to get my hand on that flamethrower gauntlet thingy and just.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, okay.
Yeah, you don't have rage
Me
issues.
and the
A little
violence.
concerned. This is my
It's
friend.
like a dragon head
We
shield
gotta tell you
thing.
some great things from Eureka Studio.
See
The
more.
award for most anticipated game from them is Loop Mancer.
Yes.
Yeah, Loop Mancer
This
looked
one
really
came
cool.
out of the gate fast. and-
Eureka was
and I think
really
a lot of
quick.
people
We
were
missed
just
it. It was in the middle of
visually
things, but this was the
stunning.
out of what I saw. This one looked really
You
cool.
know,
Looks
side
awesome.
scroller, got a lot of action in there. I'm keeping
Yeah, when
this
you
one
were
on my
describing
radar
it
for sure.
before, I thought you
This
said
trailer
loot
just hit all the
hamster.
check marks.
No,
Like you said,
loop.
animation, the music,
Gotcha.
Look
protagonist
at that
looks
thing. It's
amazing.
better than Monsters,
There's
right?
a
Value.
villain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
He climbed up to
So
the
not
second
surprised
floor
by
and
that at all.
stuff.
Yeah.
He's shooting
got
and
heard about
slicing and
Appetizers
dicing.
are out of the way.
Wow.
It's time for the big ones. We had a number of great presentations over the last 4 days, making this award a very difficult one to choose. But someone had to, and our panel voted. The best presentation of E3 this year was Xbox and Bethesda's showcase.
Without a doubt.
Pedal to the
Without
metal
a
from the
doubt, yeah.
start. It's all gas. It's Todd Howard. It's Starfield, all the way through.
Devolver was
I
not one
guess
of the
they-
Hey, bite me.
E3 Limbiskit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it was
in
not.
between
They
a
not-
million
they were
different
not part of
games. What was
E3
it? It
in
was
their schedule.
more than
They just
30
kinda had a
games with
showcase that
27 of
happened
them
as
coming
well
to Game Pass. I might be
during
getting
E3.
numbers wrong.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, the overwhelming majority being Game Pass day and day.
And I just wanted to point out that
Game
there
Pass
was a
looks
lot
very
of predictions going into this.
worth it.
I had thought that we were
Yeah.
going to get
Oh, yeah.
Halo Infinite first, get that out of the way, and then we'll close out with Starfield. That's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
But the fact that Xbox was
Should've
like,
went
no,
to Razer.
Bethesda, you're going to open and close the show.
true.
You're going to give us all
new
the
of the
bad
year.
stuff. Like,
Yeah. It
was that
I really
fucking
feel
Eric
good
guy
about
when they
this,
threw to that
you know,
Eric
the
guy and he
future here
took all
for
the hype
Bethesda
down.
As a huge
They lost
Bethesda
it.
fan.
But then Min brought it back.
And yeah,
Yeah.
man, this was
Thank
a
you,
great
Min.
showing. Lots of great games.
I was
anyone
going to
would've
comment
looked
on the structure
not
as well.
great
I just
after
thought when they started with
coming from
Starfield, I was
men.
like, ooh, okay, bold choice,
Yeah,
you know? And then they had Halo Infinite
Yeah,
in the
it's
middle,
not
and
that-
it was just
not that Eric
perfection,
brought it down.
everything that I wanted.
just
And then
Min was already
wrapping
up
it
here.
up with vampires. I was just like, okay, they nailed it for me. So yeah.
And to put a bow on it, you know, leading into it, they talked about there will be a clear delineation between Xbox and Bethesda, which I for sure thought it was going to be whatever, half Xbox, and then now let's turn
Exactly.
it to our friends at Bethesda.
Could have been easily
Yeah.
like
And
that.
instead, they delineated by saying, hey, I'm Todd Howard from Bethesda. Hey, I'm Pete Hines from Bethesda. Hey, I'm Phil from Xbox. And they shook it up that way so you knew what you were getting and how this whole ecosystem was going to work. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah,
I
very
felt like
cool.
the timing was perfect, and they delivered on every single title
Ultra
as much
robbed.
as I wanted. I didn't feel like I want more. Well, okay, I'm getting a waterfall of info here, you know. So props to y'all.
Great stuff. But there can be only winner for the most anticipated game overall. A tough decision, I'm sure,
Is it gonna be
amongst
one of
our
those ones
media
we just
panel,
mentioned?
but
Right,
they
Breath of the
decided
Wild?
to give the
I mean, it
most
has to be one of them.
anticipated game of 2021 to hold. Oh, I was going to see what they wanted. It's Forza Horizon 5.
Wow.
Most anticipated game overall.
Wow.
Shocking.
How does it
Breath of
win
the Wild
Not
too.
because
overall
Forza's
and
not a
not
great
its own?
game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
for
I was
sure.
gonna
If you would
say.
have asked me, I'm going to say it's going to be
Maybe
Halo,
it
or
gets
it's gonna be
picked
Breath of the
first and then they
Wild.
take it
And
out
you
of the
assume you
runnings
get into
for
one of
the
the classic
little ones.
situations.
Maybe.
at E3,
Forza
right?
is the
Where
most
votes got
anticipated
broken.
overall.
Where it was
you see
that
what it
a whole
looks
bunch
like,
of
though?
people went for Breath of the Wild and
I
a
mean,
whole
like
bunch of
there
people
cars
is
in the
a
desert.
lot-
Okay.
Halo or for whatever, and then here you
of
go.
Forza.
I'm not saying it looks
Remember,
bad.
Too, this is 2021, so perhaps you know the panel was also looking at what games
Great
are going to be
point.
coming out
You're
this
right.
year. Forza, obviously,
Forza
always
and
a
FIFA.
winner. Every Forza Horizon game
just
has
hundreds of
been
thousands of
brilliant.
players.
So
All right.
this is not a shocker to me because these games are great. Visually speaking as well, ridiculous. Like the whole time we're like, is that a picture? Or no, that's the game. And they knew it and they
Yeah.
kept doing it and it worked every single time.
Sure.
Brilliant.
The sky looked really good on it too. The stuff about the
think I was
photorealism
telling
and everything they
Golden Boy
had.
earlier that I'm a very awful driver. And
I think with the
so
graphics
love
thing that we're
games
talking
like
about,
this
Forza's
because
probably
then
the
I
number
can
one
just,
there,
like,
too, from,
drive in
like,
these
the
beautiful
2 years ago.
landscapes and incredibly expensive
Probably.
cars and not damage anything.
Yeah, of course. It doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, that's the best part.
I love these racing games.
Remind me
but
never to get in car with Jackie.
I know,
Exactly.
I
Stay
know,
away
I
from
know.
riding with Jackie,
That was a
ladies
shocking
and
winner,
gentlemen.
though.
It was,
so-
but one of the reasons I think it's shocking, but one of the reasons it's really cool is what you said, right? Is that year in, year out, Forza Horizon is great. It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And so usually when you have something like that, what happens? Oh, you start to take it for granted. Oh, that's going to be awesome no matter what.
Exactly.
I'm excited
Yeah.
about the bells
Shading
and whistles. I'm
FIFA.
excited for the brand new thing. And then here you are. Everybody understands.
Well
quality.
deserved.
I can't.
Well deserved.
I'm banned from the game.
Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen,
That's why you're
that's
banned,
it
Aaron.
for this year's coverage of E3, everyone.
just saying
A
they were
huge
both
thank you
big
to our
games.
friends at Binge and iHeartRadio, the #1 podcasting platform in the United
All
States.
right.
Of course, thank you to our entire media
Guys,
crew,
that's
the
it
team
for
at
E3.
IGN,
They're
and
closing
all the
out their
developers over the
entire
last
show.
4 days. I will leave
What do
you
you
with
guys think
one
of their
final
choices?
message. We will see you all back
For most
here in
anticipated
person,
and-
live from Los
Ooh.
Angeles in
Yes.
2022. Thank you, everybody.
Nice.
What?
Bye, everybody.
They just announced they will see you in person next year, E3, in Los Angeles.
Real E3. You really
they've
E3,
announced.
huh?
Yep.
So what do you guys think about the choices they made for most anticipated overall, for the categories, or anything you fully disagreed with?
I mean, I can't argue democracy, but
Yeah, either. I can only say what
their
my
choices were not
personal
my choices.
one is. Yeah.
all I can say.
I feel like the awards themselves are kind of ridiculous. It just seems so weird to have the only awards be most anticipated, but I guess like they didn't get the access to the stuff that they would normally get.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, probably the most thing that they did is they probably had like polls going on through the week. They were
you're putting up videos too, right? You're gonna see what's being viewed the most.
Yeah, possibly. But then you're also maybe having polls tied in, and it's people voting and stuff, and you're just doing that from, what as best you can, So I don't know. I imagine if you actually had the real show going on, you're gonna have more things of like what had the best presentations or best graphics or maybe more things and whatnot that you do. So
yeah,
I don't know. For the most part, I can't really disagree in some categories. In other ones, I might be I don't know. I think that some things were a little better than others. The falling, whatever it was, the RTX one was probably not my favorite from like the indie showcase. But
no, yeah,
I can't say that. I probably liked Moolander or something more so, or Bark for most anticipated rather than Falling Frontier.
Yeah,
actually, the Life Slide, the weird paper, the little paper throwing like.
Oh yeah, the paper airplane through the.
Yeah, that was in the indie showcase as well, and that was kind of cool. So, I don't know, but. All right, guys. You guys have anything else before we close out? This is going to be the last stream we have until Friday. We're going to be covering our Smash Brothers charity event. Yes. We're going to be doing that this Friday and next Friday as well. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But do you guys have anything else, though, for E3 that you guys want to say?
I was ultra excited for about 10% of it.
Or 10% of it?
I'm not really a big gamer, so watching every game that's coming out is a lot, It does sometimes feel like now we're giving awards for the best commercial,
Sure.
But I mean, I got super excited for a small amount, but I feel like my hype was great. So, ultra hype.
I can agree that, there was a lot. I imagine that's because they're showcasing a lot of games that might have been at E3 but didn't have a showcase. Usually what they would do is they'd have Ubisoft with the one and EA and Nintendo and all the big ones, but you wouldn't have a lot of showing for the indie stuff. The indie stuff would just be there maybe with demos, or they get one of those small little rooms with the cubicle look that you get to like, hey, what's going on? You got some stuff in here, that's
sure.
That's all they really got. So here,
the person's so excited that someone came in and they treat you well,
And I feel like usually they don't have like a live stream of a bunch of showcases for 4 days in a row. So all the stuff they covered today, I'm glad yesterday they had some indie showcases. They had some stuff that they were showing for like games that usually wouldn't get any spotlight because some stuff looks really creative and really good. Yeah. So I'm at least glad they did that stuff. But I can agree that, there was a lot of stuff going on. We covered a lot of stuff through all this, but some of it was really cool and really good. Some of it was a little bit draggier than other moments, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I added 27 games to my Steam wish list. I'm probably going to pick up 75% of those games they showed for the Switch.
Sure.
There's a lot of good stuff out there. A lot of good stuff that's coming.
A lot of good stuff, I agree. Calvin, what about you?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of titles that I didn't know anything about before E3, and now I'm like super excited for them. I just wish there was more for the things that I knew was coming, and I was more excited for, I guess. A little bit of a letdown there for me, but I mean, the big games that I'm really interested in, I know they're coming. I'm just impatient and childish.
Sure. And it's hard to tell what was delayed from pandemic quarantine things going on and was affected by all that and what wasn't, and very possible we might see some more of that stuff coming into the future with some other showcases through the year, or possibly the next year's E3 that they're gonna have in LA.
Yeah. And like the thing that was kind of nice about it is because it was all being shown on the same platform, like there was nothing that could be overlooked if you watched it all. Where at E3 the booths have very different sizes.
That's true.
So like it would be easy to miss something that you might think is awesome, but just because you're drawn in like moths to the flame to these giant booths that are names that you recognize, you might miss some stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
At E3, you'll have some booths that are the size of the room that we're in, some that are the size of my desk, and some that are the size of the building. It just there's such a varying size difference between like the big names and the smaller ones and stuff. So this one was something where like as long as you were watching, you got to see everything that they had to show. So,
although it would have been nice if like the Summer Games Fest and the other stream like had all been part of E3, but what can you do?
Yeah, no. I mean, there was a lot of confusion, a lot of unorganized stuff going on. Some things that weren't involved with E3, whether because they wanted to or didn't want to or whatever's going on. So, I'm excited to see some new stuff in the coming years, and I'm excited to get actual trailers for some stuff that I really want some other time, I guess. You know, more information on some games that weren't quite here yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I'm also just really anticipating the Razer Blade 14-inch most powerful and thinnest laptop. It's ultra powerful, ultra thin, ultra fast, ultra connectivity, ultra responsive, and ultra immersive.
yes,
Just want to remember that.
a lot of
Ultra
stuff.
portable.
Yeah.
And that damn little charger, that USB charger, was so cool,
Yeah.
so small.
fuck that thing.
It was
Power
so
everything
small.
we needed to.
No,
I
you
actually
want
Powers up to
power
4
more?
devices.
Boom.
I'm
Boom.
surprised how much I enjoyed Razer once we got into it and stuff and what all they were showing. I'm like, there's some really cool stuff here.
Yeah.
And overall, presentation-wise, it's pretty good. And I,
Yep.
you know, it's that, was that sell a tomato popsicle to a girl in white gloves kind of thing, or whatever?
Yeah.
Yep. Catch a popsicle to an old woman in white gloves.
Yeah.
You know that thing's gonna melt. Oh man. We really need to reach out to Razer and see if we become like official spokesperson.
Be great.
I'd love to do that.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to be all for our E3 coverage for this year. We look forward to some more games and stuff coming in the future. We also have streams like every day but Sunday here, whether it's solo streams for most days of the week. We have our group streams on Friday. We have podcasts on Thursdays. And lots of stuff going on all the time here at Twitch and on our YouTube channel. So,
Yep.
we appreciate you guys tuning in.